two, one.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming through. This is another episode of Northside Stream Society, the truth for the youth. Today's special guest is Letlotlo Saint Baloyi. I don't even know if I was supposed to use your ID name, bro, or your street name. Do you have a street name? Street name, you say.
Yeah.
I see. So, brother, you've got a business that I consider sort of like you took it as a community project outwork because it's really focused on the whole Pretoria North in terms of however you focus, whatever the focus plan was. But to me, it seems like it's focused on Pretoria North in multiple of ways in terms of community work. Could you please tell us more about this Like a Champ brand and what exactly is it?
Okay, it's not just one entity, it's actually two.
Okay.
Like a Champ is the clothing, Rise and Grind is the events.
Right.
Which is London Pitori. I mean, the most prominent baby under the umbrella in terms of the events. Yeah, I'm sure you know we've done other events, comedy nights, poetry nights and stuff like that. But I never thought of it as a community outreach type thing, as if like the missionary, but it's more of a thing where I get where you're coming from, because the whole reason for the platform was to have artists, people from here have something of their own, because people feel a lot of the events in the side I didn't see. So we gave them something by people from the north, for people from the north, and a platform for artists, businesses that come from the north. So next time I'm cool, but when you say it's for the community, definitely not outreach like missionary.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, definitely like that.
Yeah. But so what is the whole mission about? Because at times I would see you do like charity drives or all that. So that's hence why I use the keyword community and everything, because I really think that you thought at some point giving back was important.
Giving back is always important, because when you get, you have to give back.
Yes.
I think life is a give and take. It's about, I don't want to say about energy, smile. Literally, it's about if you receive something and you feel like things are working out for you, you need to give some of it back.
Okay.
So, sometimes even if things aren't working out for you, sometimes you need to give to get back, or you need to get to give back. Either way, there needs to be an exchange. That's how life works.
Yeah. So, are we expecting London Pitori this year, 2021?
Yeah, definitely. You should expect it. But the other problem is that a lot of people have been asking that question, and I tell them that it's sort of a catch-22, because at the end of the day, I say brass for host. We're an establishment. We're a serious establishment, and at the end of the day, we need to respect the fact that people are dying. It would be irresponsible for us as a company to host while that is happening.
Yes, very true.
It's a business that should respect regulations and should respect whatever is happening. So I understand people saying people are hosting these events all around. Yeah, but we are not them. We are a responsible entity at the end of the day.
Okay, so do you feel like, because obviously people want London to Pitori to happen, I guess. So there's obviously a demand.
There's a huge demand.
Okay. It's very huge.
Huge, massive.
Okay.
Yeah, there's pressure.
Yeah,
definitely.
But you seem so relaxed, my guy. You feel like, I don't know, like you don't succumb to the pressure.
There's a reason why in industries there's leaders and there's followers. The minute you listen to you can't listen to 500 voices. It's impossible. You don't please everyone. The minute you stick to something, at the end of the day, if I decide to sell shoes now, somebody's gonna say, but I need a shirt. Somebody's gonna say I need a jean. You need to decide who you're gonna feed and stick to that. And you need to be firm. Like, you can't meet every person's desire. And at the end of the day, how many people do we cater to?
I don't know. Yeah,
We
but
cater to a lot of people. So Nana, now you're listening to more than 1,000 people saying they want this.
yes,
One person wants hip hop, one person wants techno,
the knows.
exactly. We can't have that. So at the end of the day, you decide what you're gonna give them and you stick to it. When you believe in it and you execute, then it's done. But you can't fall to pressure. There's certain positions where you can't fall to pressure.
So, based on all the events that you've shot so far, or that you've thrown so far, or would you say that you've determined which area in terms of music we lie to, in terms of like the genre we support the most?
Yeah, I think this period is pretty obvious because of Mapiano. But hip hop Mapiano. I feel like Mapiano has taken a life of its own, because now personally I never listened to house music.
Yes.
But once Mapiano came into action, hey, they took over, man. They took
Okay.
over my soul.
Okay.
I know a lot of hip hop people who never listened to Mapiano, and they also listen to it now. I feel like you're pretty stubborn if you don't have 1 or 10 or 20 tracks on Mapiano that you actually like. Hip hop fair. So Mapiano is obvious, hip hop is obvious, and we deep house and stuff like that. But it also depends on the time of day. That's
Yes.
how we pack and section our DJs for the vibe. It's not just you throw a lineup. No, it's there's a system to everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say, because I remember when you started it out, right? Your whole establishment. I wouldn't say, but you guys were, a group.
Yes.
With a certain large number,
Yes.
Is it still the same case right now? Because I understand that it takes a lot of people to run what you do.
Yes.
So,
Yes and no. At this point, but it's more of a thing. It's a group of people with different visions and hustles who come together and support each other. In a sense, where technically right now our biggest problem is numbers. We are way too few for the work that needs to be done and the growth that we have, because the numbers that we're managing, the last event we hosted got COVID. You remember we weren't even selling tickets at the gate because we scared that there were way too many numbers coming in. We weren't selling tickets at the gate.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, we already had more than 600 people who came through. That was like, it wasn't half the venue capacity. Maraskar, the rule is you can host 50%. So that's way too much. And the way we want to venture into certain avenues within capitalizing through the event space, we need way more people. Our team is way too thin, and we've been surviving for the past few years, but we actually need people to work with. It's another pandemic. We need people to work with.
Okay.
But absorbing people is not the easiest.
Okay.
It's not the easiest.
Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe you find that, you don't work with people like that. You have to understand.
Yeah, because the group that you spoke about is, we were friends first.
Yes.
Before we did business together. So there's a certain understanding that's there, and bringing people in and making them understand your ways is not always the easiest thing.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, because sometimes people just have different ideas of different things, like I was telling you before the interview about growth. People don't understand that you need to go from this to that. Sometimes people think that from this we eat,
I understand.
and then sometimes you need to stop to build. Yeah, so sometimes people don't get there and they feel like, wow, I see all this stuff, but they don't understand the sacrifices. People just want to come and benefit from when go
and take and be opportunistic.
Yeah, and it's not that easy, and there's a system to the madness.
And you'll find that I understand. I understand completely.
Yeah.
What I've always been asking myself, right, is that in terms of competitors, how has that been in terms of that area? Like, have you had a point where, like, okay, now I have competition, or let me put it like that.
If you're in a certain space and you mind competition, then you probably shouldn't be in that space. Competition is good. Competition makes you excel. Competition makes you think outside the box. in terms of competition from, well, it depends from which side you're asking. If you're asking from a perspective, like a champ or rise and grind. Rise and grind in terms of events. We've had a lot of events this side copy our model.
Yes.
Of how we started. The whole give people a sample, it's free, come, then we pricing. But I always feel like if you're copying something, then sooner or later you're gonna die, because you need to look at us and follow. You know?
And we always have to be first as well for
so
you to copy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not always a bad thing, because sometimes being an industry leader has its downfalls. People can look at you, you can do everything, you can fail, then you can learn from you. So everything has its perks and downsides.
So your clothing brand, right?
Yes.
Like a champ.
Yes.
That's the one. It's been going on for I want to say seasons.
Yes.
How many is it collections? How many seasons has it been running now? And from me personally, I feel like that should be commended, because it's like what you said about growth. It's look, man, it's not easy to be running for like somewhat years. Year after year after year, and you'll find that business might not be running smooth, but then you're still running.
Yes.
You still choose to run even if you're taking L's. So can you please elaborate more on maybe your challenges or the story of the
Well, technically, entrepreneurship is about challenges. It's legit putting out fires every day. So I could spend the next 24 hours telling you about challenges and things that we need to face in terms of clothing.
Yep.
But if I could face it to a more recent time like COVID, businesses are suffering. It's a really dark times. So we're in the dark ages. But I think it's also about, more than anything, the people who are going to be winners tomorrow is the people who survive. Because the one thing is that there's certain things. I remember one time I went to the dentist, then he was telling me that it's hard for him because there's certain things, it's cosmetics. When you want to go to the dentist, it's more cosmetics, unlike when you have to go to the doctor because you're sick.
Yeah.
So businesses or skills that are more cosmetic and are not needed are the ones that are suffering. So now you need to pivot in terms of your plans and ideas on how are you going to take something that is a luxury, because this is a shirt that is 500 rand. It's a luxury.
Yeah.
In this day and age, when you think about it, would someone sacrifice the Kellogg's or the shirt? Definitely they'd buy the Kellogg's and sacrifice the shirt. So you need to look at how you're gonna survive in this space. Be smart. Target your target market, because there's some people now, they have the money. It's not even a thing. They know 500 or one. So you need to shift all your energy and focus towards those people, and you need to just evolve. Evolve and survive. But the most important thing is survival, because a lot of businesses are not surviving right now. And
Okay, so your most exciting collection that that made you the most excited about, that you happen to be like, it just worked out, it just came together, from like the rollout plan to
the most exciting and most quality collection is this one, the championship collection.
Okay.
Because in terms of quality, in terms of design, I feel like we are 10-20 steps ahead of local brands. Just quality alone. Not talk designers, but just quality alone. The texture, the feel, what went into making the clothing was a lot was put in.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of challenges, because this collection came through COVID. The collection was late. Borders were closed.
Yeah.
I think at some point the clothes spent the winter and summer. The clothes spent more than 2-3 months in Dubai because the borders were closed.
Okay.
You get me? During COVID. So it's the challenges, because we don't get our stuff locally, we get them abroad.
Yeah.
And so there's certain challenges that you face, and when they close certain borders, planes aren't coming in.
Yeah.
Merchandise isn't coming in. Customs is more expensive. The rand was bad. At some point the rand was 18-19 rand. and you have to work exchange rate.
Yeah.
You're paying in dollars. It was bad. When you come back, you have to sell the clothes more expensive than you would before. So
Frustrating.
it was the best and yet most frustrating collection, but things that are worth having.
Yes.
You have to suffer for naturally. And so I'd love for we don't suffer every time, but that's entrepreneurship. You're gonna suffer. You have to solve problems that some people look at and say, turn back. So yeah.
And you just have to confront those problems.
You have to.
Could you please, like, before we close,
Yeah.
drop the handles?
Instagram, Twitter @_like a champ.
Yeah.
Facebook like a champ clothing brand.
Okay.
And Rise and Grind is @_rise_grind. Twitter and Instagram, Facebook is Rise and Grind.
Right.
Yes.
That's been another episode of Breaking Bread with the Business Owners. This is Letlotlo Saint Baloyi. Can wave to the camera, son.
I'm not trying to wave too,
Alright, man.
Yeah.
We out. This is Northside Stream Society.